Hello, I'm Benjamin Sierfoss, and I did a research project about this little guy right here, the spot, which is indigenous to the northern Gulf of Mexico and is commonly found around the southern eastern coastal areas around Florida, Georgia, and the other states around that area. With it being indigenous to the area, it is rather plentiful and is used as a common bait by many fishermen around the area. So the loss of such would be detrimental to the fisheries and the fishermen in the localized area of Mobile Bay. So I figured that since many people would hear talks about, say, global warming and temperature fluctuation due to storms and seasons, that the temperature change in the fish would cause them more stress as it rose in temperature. And I measured that by counting how many times the operculum would fluctuate in the time spans of a minute. And they would be receiving stress as the temperature rose due to less dissolved oxygen being available in the water than at colder temperatures where more dissolved oxygen would be in the water. In order to acquire the spot, I used a 10-gallon tank full of seawater from around the marsh area over by the airport on the island. And what originally was supposed to be 6 spot that I was supposed to collect eventually turned into 24 with the help of several people I asked to help me with that, of similar size. And as the test went along, I waited a day period basically to let them adjust to the water temperature in the tank so I can get a stable reading as a control of them in a natural environment undisturbed for 24 hours. After which, recording the pairing them after actually I paired them into groups of 2 fish of similar size so I could get an accurate reading based on the size of the fish, and recorded over the spans of 60 seconds, not blinking, and counting how many times the operculum moved on every single fish to form an average. I would lower the temperature in the tank by 1.5 degrees Celsius per test for 2 other tests, and would then record the same readings that I originally did for the control. The results were actually rather interesting, as for every 1.5 degrees Celsius decrease, there was about a average of 5 movement decrease as well. So that showed me that either that they were having an easier time breathing or that the temperature was affecting something else. And as you can see here, that the results did vary from time to time, but there is a definite noticeable decrease in the average breaths that they took per temperature. While this did support my hypothesis that the colder the temperature, the easier they would have to be able to breathe, it did pose some questions on whether or not this was the only reason and not the fact that there might be the same amount of dissolved oxygen in the water, which was untested for, or the fact that the fish might have been going into a hibernative state by lowering the temperature in the tank. I would like to take this moment here to thank the Dauphin Island Sea Lab for helping me conduct this research, as well as the staff for helping me develop this research topic and helping me through it, and getting the materials I needed for it, and helping me through all of my questions that I had. Any questions? How did I lower the temperature in the water? I lowered the temperature in the water by putting ice in a bag and having it float on top of the tank for around 10 minutes, checking the temperature periodically until I achieved the 1.5 degrees Celsius decrease in water temperature. Any other questions? I counted each fish individually for 60 seconds, and then I averaged the results together to form a group average for each of the three groups. Any other questions? Thank you.